All right, we are recording today. I got a little better handle on the lighting. I'm using the ring light that's the camera's attached to. Thank you, everybody, for pointing that out. Okay, so we're going with vertical. We're going to go pretty quick. And number one here, this was kind of a rushed finish, but there's a little acrylic use here. Acrylic gesso, upper chest, up in here, a little on the face to match this white here. Second point, I'm pointing and I can see what I'm pointing at. And the camera's not drooping, yay! So that's the first one. Again, I always try to go from darkest at the top. This thing's sagging already. Don't you do that. Got the pliers on you. All right, so that's number one. Number two. This is a complete fortunate mistake. Not a mistake, but it was just the yellow, this highlight yellow right here really kind of matches, aligns with, accentuates the yellow in the background. And it made for a reflected light situation that from a distance, this drawing really paint. This really worked nicely. This is pastel with acrylic used as watercolor. You see that especially around the top. Up in here, that is watercolor paper. Not real good stuff. It's the Canson, 140 pound. Okay, but yeah, it just made, and the highlight, that shoulder highlight right here, and the hip just made it look like such a stormy, beautiful day. Okay, next. And this one, Florence Hill's class. This is using the blue dissolvable Crayola. Next, this one, pure. This was kind of a warm-up, a class warm-up, and this uses, let's move this over a little bit. Is that a little better? Yeah, it's better. So the background right here is actually a whole rectangle. You can kind of see outlines of it. That rectangle is penciled in, cross-hatched. When it's thick enough, take a paper towel, spread it, draw my picture, erase out the highlights. Take an eraser and erase out these highlights. And then I take a brush and then I paint over this stuff. Paint the already grained this dissolvable pencil, 9B dissolvable pencil, and that really takes on that painting look. But yeah, this was a very, very nice one. I was very happy with this one. Next, a little different color tonation. Models looking away. Again, I'm trying to approach these lighter at the bottom, working more towards color at the top. Trying to use just dissolvable pencil or diluted India ink for making these kinds of shadows. Again, dissolvable 9B or 10B dissolvable pencil. Next, kind of the same idea. I'm colorblind, but I don't like that yellow. It's just too strong. But so draw another picture, right? Yeah, dive in there and do another one. This one I really liked. And what I like is just doing the more spontaneous kind of lines here with both dissolvable pencil and the paint. Yeah, I just really like the overall effect, the geometry, the highlights. And again, you can see kind of what I'm gravitating towards these days is keeping the lower half 2/3 or in thirds, 1/3, be it 1/3, like this is about 1/3 at the top, 2/3 kept white at the bottom. She's not really standing on anything. I could put a table in, but I don't care. Anyway, I like this one. Very dynamic, in my own opinion. My own self-aggrandizing opinion. All right, how's this lining up? Kind of funky. The geometry probably could use a little more background black up here. I may do that again. But if you zoom in, you can see these like that blue line that kind of squiggles through there. That's actually a sky blue oil pastel, big fat oil pastel. And I kind of use that in different places. I use it around the rear end here, the gluteal crease there. And it's a neat effect. And sometimes when it's just pencil on there, there is blue dissolvable pencil like down here, but that's different than when I went over. It's kind of, some of these lines are overly dark. That's why I hit them with the oil pastel. Okay, this one needs a little more contrast in that background, but I like it. I like this one. Zoom out some. Right there. Next. Oh, I like this one. Got a little busy, kind of around chest or shoulder high on the model. But again, I could go over with some darker darks in the outlining areas. Up through here. Again, you can see signs of that that blue up here is different blue pencil than actually that blue in here is pretty much oil pastel all the way around. Grooviness. Next. A little more grayscale, a little more enlarged perspective. This one, I started off, kind of made everything a green, just to keep things, wow, and the camera, where I thought it was green, it actually showing up orange right now. Yep. Interesting. Nice. I like the knee, the simplified kind of lines that make up the patella. That patella that's closest. My general rule when I draw these is what part of the model is closest to me, and it is her arm and her knee. Arm, knee. And that's where I start. So I know they're going to collide. I kind of take a moment before I actually start drawing, and I say, yeah, what makes sense? What makes sense to be the part of anatomy closest to me? And this, when that leg has to fit behind it, the arm, drawing the arm first makes more sense. I like that little subtle shadow, right? That's the shadow from that arm. Next. And I love this pose. I love that pose. Needs more contrast though when I look at it in the camera. And that's okay, but the pose is beautiful, and I love the hair. Next, and this one, boy, in the camera almost looks, how do they say, garish. But yeah, I liked, I just felt like I want to make kind of a composition follow a T or a cross. There's strong diagonals from leg here to arm there, and then the main just here through this axis, and then the T through there. So main axis, diagonal. I like this one. Very bright. Might be too bright with normal vision. This one is just plain dissolvable pencil, and this is not on, for instance, this is on Bristol board. This is on, I believe it's 50-pound drawing paper, and I really like that. The shadows and the highlights really work. Keeping it more of a constant rather than such a busy background really makes the model jump out. I gotta start doing that more. And this one's very green. I don't know if I'll touch this one up at all. A little busy at the top, but I do love the pose and the anatomy. I like the capture of that anatomy. Come on, camera, stay still. Stay still, my baby. Let me tighten this here. Ooh. This thing's cutting loose. Okay, next. Again, if there's something here you're interested, you might want to buy. Note the time of the film. I think we're at 10:47 right now, for instance. So this picture is at 10:47. I love the abstract head, neck, and the expression. I mean, even though there's really not abstracted facial features, she still looks like she's pensive, maybe even in agony, or maybe just really peaceful, saying a prayer. It doesn't matter what I think. It's how does it strike you? Again, grayscale bottom half, colors on the top. I do like this one. I love the pose here. And yep, that gray washed out dissolvable pencil. Getting the colors in. When there's highlights on the body, I really try and grab what's in that background, and I follow the color wheel. Bob Burridge's color wheel, I know I've mentioned it before. Next, just basically a two-tone, one-tone pencil, and I love that pose again. I like how the light comes out here. I try and exaggerate a foot popping off the page because it's, you know, a little bit of artist's license. Again, pencil gray. I try and keep bottom half of each picture, try to keep that bottom half lighter. And this one really didn't do that, but again, that stormy background at the top, I do like that effect. Definitely do like that effect. Ugh, how's that? I'm not doing much of a job of keeping that straight, am I? Next. And this is on probably 70-pound paper-ish, somewhere in that range. Yeah, sometimes certain papers, you hit that dissolvable pencil. You hit it with it starts off nice, but if it puddles and sits there, it starts to really get crazy like that. But maybe that's a good effect. The only thing that matters is if it's pleasing to the eye. My eye goes there because it leaps out at me. But when I look at it away from the camera, I actually like it. I actually do like that. I like the shadow on that foot, the lower left, going off the table right here, right down here. Next. And that was one of our male models, big guy. This is a 2-minute drawing. By the way, none of these are more than 15 minutes. None. 15 minutes or less. This is 2. This could be 5. Dissolvable pencil. Hit I may have had a diluted India ink coffee cup to the side that I just kind of stuck a little bristle brush in and hit it with. It looks mostly that way. And then kind of a side view. Next, and then this one is charcoal, big, thick charcoal. And in Richard Mershon's class in Minnetonka, big, thick charcoal, which I've never used before, but it is a delight. I would never use that term when I was a kid, delight. But as an older adult, it's a delight. Anyways, sorry. But I hit this with water. This makes, where it was hit with water, this doesn't smear. Where it was not, like right here, that will smear. Oop, I don't want to wreck it, but just for demonstration's sake, you can see where I smeared it right there, right there. All right. I don't know if my finger got in the view there. Next. Heavier paper. Nope. Yeah, it is a little bit heavier than the last one. It's probably, this could be 110. Drawing paper. And probably a 5-minute drawing. I kind of like that way that blue traverses. Gives an overall diagonal, almost like a flowing water effect. And that is supposed to be toes or something popping out there, but I ran out of time. Is that a heel? I don't know. Last one for today. I like this one. Very colorful towards the top. Boy, I'm amazed when I zoom in on the camera, this thing really accentuates color. Seems to make them brighter than they are. I don't want it to be falsely different, but there. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. The other one went pretty long. I'm keeping this one shorter, pushing 17:07. There we go. Alrighty, well, take care all. See you soon enough. All right, how do I stop this thing? I think it's this one.